So, hello. This is a PLO8 tournament that I played this morning. It's now evening. It's about 20 to 10 in the evening, but this is the second part of this PLO8 tournament I played this morning. The first part, not an awful lot happened. I, well, didn't make a good start. Then I got a double up. Um, only played. That's really the only decent sized pot I played that whole session. Really, in almost an hour of play, 50 minutes of play. This second session is rather different, and here we go. Here we go. So I've actually got a playable hand here that in a lot of circumstances, it's got the three wheel cards. I've also got a king, which is useful. It's a shame the king isn't suited. It's one of the better hands you can have without an ace that doesn't contain an ace. Those three wheel cards. It is a shame the king isn't suited. Um, so I have an easy call here. Just want to see a flop with this hand. That's fantastic. Now I've actually got. I've just decided to check this round. I've got some low potential and some high potential. I can make a baby flush, which might be good. And now I have still my baby flush draw and a straight. It's not the nut straight. It's the second nut straight. I don't have the nut low either. But I figure that people have, like this guy's sight 4 could have practically anything here. And I'm pretty sure I bet this river too. Do I? Do I bet the river? Or do I just check? Oof. Pretty sure I bet the river. Just for value here. Because this guy is playing almost anything. There you go. I have the best hand. But in both directions. I have my straight. There's four houses on the board. I didn't have the nut low or nut anything. So here now I've got a huge Badoogie hand. It is number, in Badoogie it would be number, I think, 14. But I can't call a raise with this. I would open on the button with this, and it gets raised. So if somebody pots it, I have to just fold. Now, there's a lot of music outside, I'm guessing. What did he have? So he had basically a crap hand. He had 7 ace for low, and just had a pair of 6s for high. So I really have no idea what he was playing at here. And I could be bluffing with that and still end up with, he might only be get half the points against the bluff there. It's just, so now I have enough to raise this up in the cutoff. So it goes to 270. It's not a fantastic hand. Has a good low potential, but you really want to see a 2 or 3 on the flop. So here's a 2. That's a fantastic flop for me. But I mean, it would be better if there's another low card here, like a 3 or a 5. But I certainly have enough to. It's a continuation bet there. It's an obvious continuation bet. If I get resistance, well, I have to think about what to do. Get check raised. I guess I have to fold. No, I don't have a good hand here. So I chipped up a little bit here at the beginning of this second session. Oh, see, look at the sort of stuff that this sight 4 is playing. Now, I think this is where I stuff up. I stuff up on this hand. So I think I correctly bet this. I've got middle set. I know there's straights and flush, straight on the board. There are flush possibilities here. But now putting that 4 straight on the board, there's so many more combinations that make straights here. And I bet this, don't I? I think I bet half the pot. approximately. That's what I do. And then he check raises me. And I have no choice but to fold. And I really, really, I've got no low potential because there could be another. The low could come on the river. I should have just checked that back on the turn and tried to hit a boat on the river. Instead, I torch off, you know, whatever that is, not quite 20% of my stack, 17% of my stack or something, 16%, whatever that is, for no real reason. I didn't need to do that. I could have, I should have cut my losses there and not bet that turn with that 4 straight on there. It just massively increased the chance that he has a straight. They think they called the flop. I mean, and the other thing is he's going to play a lot of hands that hit straights on that board. So you see, I'll never know what he had there, but could have hearts there too. Could have a low draw. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, I was kind of turning my eights, my set of eights into a bluff there. It's basically what I was doing. Just I have to call here. Got ace 4, got a king. 7's kind of a bit of a dangler here. Really doing a whole lot. But I flop relatively well here. Do I bet the flop? No, I don't. Okay, now I make a straight here. I've also got a 4th nut low. It's not the nut straight. That's 7-9. I don't have that. But 7-9 is not the sort of combination people are going to play that often. So I just take that down there. So I hit. It's a very nice turn card for me to fold this. That's pretty much a garbage hand that I have here. So I should chip up a little bit after that terrible blunder, I would say it was, a couple of minutes earlier. It's very interesting going back over these hands when I simply can't remember what happened all the time. So we've got the sight 4 was on 19% on the turn, and he ends up getting half the pot. So he's been running pretty well. Yes, he makes the nut low, and you make your flush, sight 4. Better flush than Temkin. Yeah. Have a rundown here. This is a really crappy hand to have here in PLO8. And so even with the odds I'm getting here, 7-1 or whatever that was, letting that go. if everything had been one higher, 9-10 Jack Queen, I think I would have called there, come in there, but just with that 8-9-10 Jack, you can't make a low. But if you hit the nut straight, or some kind of decent straight, there's going to be a low out there. No, so you've got the nut badoogie. Look at that. You have the nut badoogie. Wow. So you made the 6-2. I must raise this up. Yeah. I'm trying to. I don't quite know what to do in this situation. In the small blind, you have a when to. I'm pretty sure I call here, getting the odds of getting, don't I? I must do. Getting 2-1 here, right? It looks like my finger's over the fold button, and I take my time over this. But you've got to call. You've got to call here. So I can't believe I got close to folding that. Now I haven't flopped too badly. I've got 2 pair. Got 2 pair here. And I do have a low. I have a 7-2. That's not fantastic. But now my low's got, it's not a great low, but it's okay. But I have a flush draw now too. So I fire out a bet here. I don't think, okay. Now I'm in a bit of a bind. What do I mean, I could be out of the tournament here. So I just check this back. If he has 2-3, he could have all sorts of stuff, couldn't he? But luckily, I get 3/4 of that pot, so ooh, a little bit dicey there. I was very grateful to get 75%, but and that's my high point in the tournament to this stage, just over 5,000. At the same low, and my two pair aces and eights were, that's the dead man's hand, isn't it? Aces and eights. So yeah, I think it was a good bet on the turn there. It didn't quite come as I wanted it on the river. So I'm writing a note here about his 3-bet pre-flop with actually a fairly iffy hand, which is that's not a bad hand. Now I'm about to start a no-limit single draw tournament too. I'm kind of putting most of my energies into this one at the moment because I feel that needs a lot more concentration, even though there are fewer hands played. No limit single draw, only 2 streets, lots of hands get played very quickly. But I feel like I can play that one. I wouldn't say autopilot it, but I have an idea. So did kind of flop something there actually. I would have flopped something if I'd been in the hand, of course. So ace two. So the ace and the two was suited. That's what I'm trying to put as my notes. Now I've got to do something about these notes because having lost my laptop, all my notes have gone. So that's my next thing. They chop that up. Now I have a kind of, if you raise it, I have to fold. It really doesn't do well. So Mr. Kent, how are we today? I suppose it's a little bit patronising when people say, how are we? I'm guessing maybe that was the intention. I think Vaughan is from Canada and Kent, I think, is from Russia. Anyway, so straights galore on this board at the moment. Lows galore too. Wonder what he's got. Is he going to cool off his stack here? Getting good odds. I mean, I think he actually folds though. Wow. And I really don't like these hands that I've got here with Jack, Queen, Jack, Jack, 4. I've got three low, 3 high, 1 low. I find them really, really difficult. So I'm wondering how Gerasim has got to 6,000. He just doubled up on the first hand somehow. But so you actually play a 3-card hand. You voluntarily put money in with a 3-card hand. And a better ace beat my ace. So I don't have a good hand there. Queen 9, 4-2, single suited. It's not great. I don't even think on the button I'd try and raise this up. Just now I've got a good 1-card draw in my single draw. Maybe I should go a little bit bigger there. I don't know anything about this Alex Tish. I don't think I remember this Kersey either. So what I hit, if anything, here? Oh, I hit very well. I hit a 7, and that gives me what number? Ooh, 16 or something. I think it might be number 16, this hand. 7, 6. Yeah. Third worst 7. 18 sevens, yeah. But might take down a smallish pot that X doesn't like anybody else had anything, which is a bit of a shame. It would have got paid off by a lot of stuff. Now I've got a 10, 9, 8, 7 draw. That's going to hit the mark very quickly. Still looking back at that hand. We both had a live deuce there. I'm guessing your hand did have more pre-flop equity than mine. But again, you have to be able to navigate post-flop. Juiced up that pot a little bit. Thinking about the single draw here. Okay. Yeah, I've got a big draw here. Draw to number 5 potentially with that hand. And do I call? I think I do call, don't I? Somebody else comes in. That's right. So I call, and then I don't. In the end, I don't think that Alex Tish even knows what he's doing. But I get out of the way. Wow. 7, 8, 8, 7, my queen. Wow. What a shame I didn't hit a little bit better than my 9 there. I have to get out of the way. So I've got an okay lowish hand here. I make 2 pair and the third nut low draw. So I'd flop something. Shame I don't have any clubs or anything like that. Do have a backdoor flush draw, I suppose. But I don't think I was thinking about that at the time. That's not a good turn card for me. It really isn't. I'd just let this go. That's the only thing to do. I've got garbage on that table. Absolute junk. So I finished work about 25 minutes ago. Read some articles about Bitcoin. I must say I don't really care about Bitcoin. I'm uninterested in Bitcoin, but my student really likes talking about Bitcoin. So I think the session I had earlier with the other guy was a bit more interesting. Anyway, so here I think maybe I made a mistake there by completing there. Then Shima I simply had to fold when he raised up to 4 times. See, my hand didn't do very well against what they both had ace 4 for low, and sort of I have to fold that. Gosh. And Shima has gone. Shima from Japan. Very bad hand there. Can't open that on the button. So I'm not actually playing a ton of hands. As you see from the first part, I'm pretty conservative pre-flop. So what was like funny about that was that Otto won that pot with the arse end of the straight, where there was tons of full house possibilities too. So a hand he probably shouldn't have been involved with. Can't remember how it played out though. See, in the big blind, he ends up winning a big pot with actually not a very good hand. Not a good enough draw to open from that position. Um, Actually deciding to fold this. Maybe from the cutoff I'd open it up. From the button it's a very easy open. You can see how my what I do depends very heavily on my position. The ace isn't suited either. That's a real handicap with that hand. Ace 6, not nearly as good as ace 5 or ace 4 would have been. So just trying to stay out of trouble in the early stages now. Going to fold this, I think. Yeah, so 10-9 draw, 2 off the button. I just don't think it's quite good enough. It's not it wouldn't be terrible to raise it either, though. Broadway possibilities. All these what a strange bet and a strange fold, actually. I guess it's a sucker bet, and he didn't want to get stuck in. I've got a decent hand here, but my kickers, my side cards aren't very good, actually. So what do I decide to do? Do I just check here? I think I do. That's what, yeah. So this is a little bit awkward. I decide to check this. Oh, actually, oh no, I don't. I decide to bet. And he calls. Ah. I think I have to check this back, actually. And whether to get involved, and I lose there, right? Low didn't come in. I don't know whether I needed to bet that flop, honestly. Probably maybe a waste of money. No, that's not a terrible hand. I want to see the right kind of flop for this, though. So now, so I've got a second nut. What have I got? I've got a pair, a second nut low draw, and I have a backdoor flush draw. It's not a very. And now I actually have the other flush draw, baby flush draw, which that basically is. But there are straights on the board, loads of straight possibilities, and I have to let this go. As it turns out, I would have made the nut low. So I have to fold here. So I haven't made a great start to that tournament, have I? I think I just over limp here. And look how I flop. Look what I flop. The nut flush. And the second nut low, draw 2. So that's an absolute dream flop. Absolute dream flop. So I've got to try and get some money in here. Don't want to get people out of the way. So he gets out of the way very quickly. Now, look at me. Now, 3-4 of clubs wouldn't be very nice. Even if someone had 3-4 of clubs, though, I'd still get half. So, okay. So this is still a dream position. I don't want him to get out of the way, though, so I'm going to keep betting. Second nut low, nut flush. Come on, call me, call me, call me. Yes, great. So that was a very lucky hand. And now, I'm just going to call again here. Notice I'm not getting very aggressive pre-flop. When somebody else comes in. So I've got 2 pair. Decide to fold that. I've got a 10 draw, a smooth 10 draw, but that's not really good enough. Go check it back now. See what I see. Okay, I think I must let this go. Flush has got there. So that's an obvious fold. So you don't have to play too aggressive. Well, you don't have to panic in this game because you had. Wow, you shouldn't have got involved there. You had no low to speak of. Your low was terrible, and your flush, you had the third nut flush. I mean, I don't even think you should have been involved to begin with. It's a very, very interesting hand. I remember this one. Ace, 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 three. So it's your equity is not fantastic, but you block the other aces. Now what do I got? I've got the second nut flush draw, second nut low draw, and the nut flush blocker, and obviously the overcards and everything. I think I can keep betting this actually. Oh, I don't though. Now I'm pretty sure I pot this. I've got the second nut low, and I just bam it. I bam it because I also have the nut flush blocker. So um, I don't think he's got ace two. There's only one other ace in the deck. I don't think you've got it. You might do, but yeah. So I think, I mean, it's certainly it's possible he had a better high. I'm guessing he didn't though, actually. But I don't think bamming it was too bad anyway. So what have I got? I've got two pair, top and bottom pair, but that's not really enough to go to war with. You really want to be boating up here to get excited about it. I don't. I have a flush draw. The full house is available. It's a very, very easy fold. The hammer I bammed the river with just the second nut low, which I felt was basically the nut low, and just the overcards with that ace, ace, ace three. Whether I should have bet smaller on the river and I might have got a call, I don't know. In fact, I still had some high equity there. That would have been a great hand, I think, for Big O. That one there, the ace, ace, 5-4-3. I think for Big O, that would have been a lovely hand. Big O, by the way, if you're not aware, is the same as this PLO or 08, Omaha High Low, but with 5 cards instead of 4. And you still play 2 from your hand, 3 from the board. And they still have the 8 qualifier. I've only actually played it once, but it's one of those games that has become a little bit more popular. I think I prefer the 4 card version. Just now, a funny thing, I play this a little bit too passively. If I can remember rightly, I might be completely wrong. I might be off base. 4-way here. I might be thinking of the wrong hand. I don't know. Oh no, I don't. Well, I don't decide not to bluff. That's why. That's just the way this one goes down. I decide not to bluff it because I feel that 4-way, the chances are that if you check to me, and I bluff, there's just too much of a chance that one of the other two will have something. But I guess I should have bluffs even in this spot too, and maybe pair of nines. It wouldn't be terrible to try a bluff here, but 10, 9, 8. I'm guessing you're going to call that quite often. What do I decide to do here? I decide to fold because you raise. Okay. So halfway through the second session, I'm basically about double what I was at the beginning of it. So I've had a good session up till now. See what develops in the second half of this second session of my PLO8 tournament. Not going along too well here. And I think, what do I do here? So you're sitting out. I'm pretty sure I raised this up because he's sitting out. By the time I raised it, he'd sat back in again. I didn't notice what he'd done. So I thought I was only up against one player. And I decided to fold my pair of sixes, which I think I have to. I think if Kent had, if he had been sitting in as normal, so now I'm gonna. So now look at my chip stack. It's not very good. What does deep pocket do? think he gets out of the way. And now I think Gerasim draws 2. Okay, so I can just pass it. Do I fold this? No, I must call here. Okay, let's check it back. I think I win that. Yeah, I do. Okay. Don't hit a good flop for me, but there's not a lot of good flops. You really want high cards. I'll fold that. Down. The straights there. I actually have 2 pair. Top 2 pair, funnily enough, but it's on a board like this, it's almost worthless. Right. This is an interesting one. I seem to remember this one now. So 8, 3, 3, 2 is nothing to get excited about. But the odds I'm getting are enormous. I can make some nut. I can make some. If an ace comes on the flop, I could have the nut low, the multi-way pot. I could make a set. Oh, and guess what? So I've got a nut low draw, and I've got trip 8s. I start by checking here. Now there's a flush draw out there too. I'm pretty sure he bets and I just call. Okay. I could have check raised, but I want more people in this pot. I decide I want more people in the pot. I think Verdugo. Oh, you fold. Okay. Now what do I do here? Do I check raise this turn? Oh, I was going for a check raise. That's exactly what I was doing. Now I've got 3 8s and you call. I bam the river and you just call me. You decide to call me. That was amazing. That's almost 11,000. Wow. Now, I'm pretty sure I looked to see what he had. So see, I was up against him. I didn't have many chips compared to him. Now I've got twice as many. So things have sort of swapped around a little bit. So there it is. So I mean, come on, what are you doing there? You've got complete junk. So some people have no idea of the strength of their hands. I just think this site 4 is just is kind of clicking buttons a bit, especially the ones that say call and raise and stuff. Not clicking the one that says fold often enough. That's great for the rest of us. Don't have a good hand here. The ace isn't suited on the button. I'd go with it. Maybe, definitely if the ace was suited. This makes a big difference. But it wouldn't be terrible to actually open this up on also on the button if it folded round to me, but that's not what happened. Now I have a decent hand, but I decide not to raise it up. I don't think I do anyway. I don't flop well at all. Now though, I flop something. I've got the second nut low draw. Do I bet it? Do I bet this? No, I don't. And I end up with nothing. I have to fold this, that all in. There's no point in, okay, there's much point in bluffing there. Pair of 8s won that pot, it's really... kind of been running a little bit, sort of a little bit card dead on that other table. Aggro, I guess that's true. I'm pretty sure I fold this. Double suited, but it's not a good hand. It's a real trap hand. Let's maybe the ace of hearts comes with another couple of hearts. I don't know what you really want to see there. You can make a wheel. It's not the worst hand in the world, but As it turned out, I would have made a wheel, wouldn't I? And so knight 4 is now getting hammered. So I would have made my wheel and a second and the six high straight. So I would have made would have well, scooped that pot. Would have been very, very nice. But I mean, you're playing 10-9-8-7, which is junk, and it got well and truly beaten by someone who had a good hand. Kind of stands to reason, doesn't it? But had I been in the pot, would have been different. Now look at this. Pretty sure I must bet this. Bet 3/4 of the pot approximately. Okay, I've got a good. I think I can get a little bit of money in there, just juice it up a little bit. Now, I'm pretty sure I bet again here. Okay, I brick that. I have to call. I get half the pot. Okay, big hand here. If the there's two low cards. And what do I raise it to? So this is a value raise. So I can't just be doing this with aces. I've got the nut low draw here. Plus I've got 2 overcards. And I've got a pair. So I flop pretty well. I don't have as any sort of flush possibility. Well, I hit a good draw, so I've got a call here. 35%, 54%. So I end up with 50% of this pot. So I end up doing rather well. I got lucky there. I didn't have 50% of the equity when the money went in. So I'm wondering whether I should have bet post flop. I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is definitely yes. So now I've got a good draw to an 8-6. It is a gut shot though, so I'm really only looking for a. I don't want to. I mean, I could actually re-raise there. I wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Got a blocker and because it's if I did get knocked off my hand, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But look what I hit. I hit number 9. I hit a big hand. Do I get any action from it? I can't remember actually here. Got a good hand here. 5-11. I actually pot it. I get a call, so that was good. A relatively big bet on the after the draw there. And this is a pure C bet. Okay, what do I do here? Do I bet this again? Or do I just check it? I can't. What I do? I check it. Okay. I check this back again. Have no low, which is a problem. I'm pretty sure I fold. I'm pretty sure that's what I do here. All has a pair of queens. No low. I think I fold here actually, just because the size of that re-raise. So I've got a few more. I don't think I played this. I remember this hand in the single draw. It's a terrible flop for me. Like I haven't put much money in. I think I decided to call here. He's done the same thing he did on the previous hand, and I hit well. Here we go. But I go for a check raise actually. That's what was my plan with that hand, but I think I should have just bet out. I should have just bet out there. For some reason I expected him to bet. He's a good player. I expected him to actually bet more often than most people do. But the thing came up accidentally asking me if I wanted to deposit. The last thing I want to do is deposit. So I think I go for the. Do I go for a check raise or do I go for? I think what I do here. Do I just call and try and check raise? Oh, look at that hand. I go for a check raise now, don't I? Wow, what a. Do I brick? Okay, and then I think I put a lot more money in here. Oh, do I not? Do I really just do that? Wow. How come I don't make any aggressive action? Because I want to keep you in. That's why. I wants to keep you in. That's all it was. Does he just bomb this now? Bam this? I think he bams the river. I happily call him, and I get. So I put no aggressive action into there at all, and he would have had no. He was just happily. Um, yeah, happily getting lots of money in there, and okay. So that was a really weird hand. Worked out very well for me, obviously. Get 3/4 of this big pot. So ace three, ace two with no high, ace two with the straight, and then ace three with no high. So a little bit weird what they showed up with there. My 10 draw, my good 10 draw. I'm pretty sure. Or do I fold that? I don't know whether I should. I'm surprised I folded that actually. So I must go with this. Okay, king there, that makes a difference. Nice card, a king. The two pairs, so I'm pretty sure I bet this as well. The 2/3 of the pot. Now though, it doesn't go away, so it's my C bet. I think, do I just check this? Do I bet again? I can't actually remember. I bet again, and then pull. And if he bets, I have to call. That's what I do. Oh, hang on. I end up winning the pot. I didn't realise that's what I'd done. So all I had was aces and kings. Well, that was weird. So I actually get up to 28,000 now. So I was on 4,000 odd at the start of the session. I've gone from there to 28. I decided to fold here, I think, because of all the hearts. Ooh, do I? Do I call? I call. Okay, this will be fine. Check this. Now I must bet. So I've got my. Can I call? What happens? We split. Okay. So from nowhere, basically, got 28,000. Second place in the tournament. Small raise here. Did not flop well. I should go for a raise here. I open this up. I'm pretty sure I just fold this flop. He donks into me there. What have I? I've got a gut shot at the bottom pair. No chance of making a low. I get two-way with this hand. Oh God. And they both beat me. So there's been a meteoric rise in this tournament. I didn't make a good start, and then I had this sort of holding pattern where nothing was going on. Phew, interesting flop. It's kind of a wrap, isn't it, that? Would have made it straight. Now, okay, what eventuates here? Make number whatever that is, number 15. I get a call. Okay, that's nice. So see, I'm chipping up here. I've got more than twice as many calls I had. What do he call me with? 10 million. Yeah, very marginal call that. That's my wee three kings there of my three wise men. My wee three kings of Orientar. I can't believe it's only what 3.5 months until it will be Christmas. I always thought that was very weird when I had to sing that song. We three Orientar. Like, where is Orientar? All these three kings of Orientar. No one tells me. Nobody ever told me where Orientar was. So that's not a fantastic flop for me. I obviously have to call this tiny bet. All he's got left. Now I have the. I go for a 3-bet here. I decide to 3-bet. Do I or do I fold? I don't know why I raised such a small amount. That's what I don't understand. So I hit. Well, to be split there. Yeah. Had a flush. So Tom Dooley actually made a flush there. So Hammer Pocket made a 9-7. I had a pat 9-7. He had a pat 9-7. Just called my 3-bet and didn't put any more action in at all. That was just so weird. Wow. I'm pretty sure I made a note about him because that was unbelievable, honestly. Now thinking about this, it's been a frustrating last couple of weeks with my laptop dying and everything. That it it's been the W Coup, the World Coup of online poker, and I haven't been able to play it. I played one tournament, a single draw, before while my computer was still kind of working. I basically just completely missed everything for high, whereas Tom Dooley didn't. We've got a 4th club for good measure there, with clubs there. Got a Badoogie. I'm pretty sure a good Badoogie there. Pretty sure I just. Okay, so I actually flop sort of something. 4th nut low, but I can't. 4th nut low draw. Can't go this. I have to just fold. So the Romanian there. Well, I'm not a Romanian, but another inhabitant of this beautiful country. I think I fold here. Oh God, yes. So you're unlucky. Tom was very unlucky there. With that. Made the flush, nut flush there. Flop the nut flush. And the low, of course, there's no chance the low could come. Straight there. So he's getting all this money in there. Tom gets a quarter of that pot. So he's sort of hardly any chips left. I was not expecting Tom Dooley but to be from Germany. I was expecting him to be from Ireland. My hand is not very good here. It's lowish pair. Obviously I have to call Tom. And Tom beats me. Horrible. not a very nice board for me. Not a very nice run out. Pretty sure I don't know what he actually had there. I'm pretty sure I lost. Second nut low with the flush nut flush blocker. Still the second nut low. With the nut flush blocker. Doesn't get out of the way though. I think at this point I just I call and hope my second nut flush. And I only get a quarter of that pot. Yeah, that was a difficult one. That. So I lose some ground there. A little bit frustrating, but I don't know. I think I played that okay. Maybe not. I just felt he didn't. He had the two pairs. So he flopped two pair on a board with all the straights and flush possibilities. I had the nut flush blocker. Thought I might have got him to get away. Also, my kings were of no use to me, unfortunately. There, kings basically just didn't play. So I ended up with basically no height apart from just those two kings. I suppose another king would have been useful for me though. Do I fold here? Yeah, I do. So another table move. Not a good hand at all. So I've got a minute left, almost coming up to the break here. But interesting looking back on this. I felt like I did everything okay, apart from that hand with the trip 8, where I needed to just not bet the turn. That was a terrible turn bet. Apart from that, I felt that everything has been okay. Now I've got another Badoogie. That's very, very strong Badoogies. So I just check it. I think I do. And then I completely brick the flop. I let it go. That's the end of my action here. So yeah, so that is another little session. I went from 4,000 odd to 22,000 odd. via 28, which was at one point. But I had a very, very interesting. What the hell's it doing? Very interesting session. Okay, well, um, I'll be back with the third session. Don't go away. Do not go away.